Snack-sized business.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Snack-Sized Business. I'm your host, LB Adams, and as always, I am thrilled to have conversations with women business owners, with entrepreneurs, women in business, women doing brave, important, impactful, positive, creative things. And so today, speaking of creative, I get to introduce you to Soni Lopez Chavez. So Soni is an artist that I quote unquote found on Instagram a couple of years ago. Her work really attracted me, the style of it, the beauty of it, and the cultural narrative of it. I found really moving and interesting. And so I'll let her share with you more about that, but let me give you her 5 facts. So number 1, she doesn't drink alcohol or smoke. She says she never has. She is one of 4 kids, and all of her siblings can draw. So I'm curious to know if, so she's an artist. What do they do? Are they also artists as well? She says she loves children, but she doesn't have any kids of her own. She grew up super sheltered. So I'm curious about what that means, what that phrase means. And maybe that has to do with the fact that she doesn't drink or smoke alcohol. There you go. She doesn't drink alcohol or smoke right now. And she says when she's not drawing, she loves to hike and camp. So I hope that you will give a warm welcome to Soni Lopez Chavez. Okay, well, welcome to Snack-Sized Business, Soni Lopez Chavez. Thank you so much for joining me. As I was saying before we started recording, I have been following you on Instagram now for a couple of years, and I'm so moved and impressed by your art, and such a fan that I'm having feelings right now. So thank you so much.
I feel honored. Thank you for your support. I'm excited to be here.
Oh, good. All right. So a couple of things. I have shared with our audience your 5 biographical facts, but I have questions. So you said that you grew up super sheltered.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean exactly? Can you kind of give us some insight there?
Yeah, of course. So my parents brought me over to California when I was about 6 or 7. And I grew up, as well as my mother and my siblings, as an illegal immigrant for quite some time.
Ooh, okay.
And because of that, my parents didn't really let me go out. I wasn't really allowed to have friends. It wasn't until I got older, that I was a teenager, that they gave me a little bit more freedom. But yeah, I grew up pretty sheltered. I was just really at home playing with my siblings. And other than that, I wasn't really allowed to go out.
Gosh, that must have been difficult. Do you feel like at this point in your life that are you aware of the things that you missed?
I am now, definitely. As a child growing up, I didn't see anything wrong with it. I thought everybody lived this way. And
Sure.
I had siblings to play with, so I didn't think that I was missing anything. But now as an adult, I can look back and think oh my gosh, I could have learned so much from the world, life experiences. I feel like I definitely missed out on a lot. But at the same time, I can see where, if I would have stepped out and I would have ran into the wrong person, I could have been deported. I can see both ways. So
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
It's hard growing up as an illegal immigrant, definitely.
Wow. And you are where you are right now. And so are you happy and settled? And where are you located?
Right now I'm in San Diego, California. And
That's awesome.
I'm definitely happy. I went through some trauma as a child. So a lot of I feel like these last maybe 6 years of my adult life, I've spent healing and learning. Yeah. And a lot of that has been through my art. So
I was going to say, I've seen some of that in your art as well. for
Yeah,
sure.
definitely.
So you said that you are one of 4 children, and that
Yes.
your siblings can all draw. So do they use the same medium as you? Are they artists as well, or is it just something that they do?
They actually don't draw at all. My sister maybe every once in a while for fun, but no, they chose not to go that route. They're doing a regular 9 to 5 job. One of my brothers is traveling and he's going to school. I'm the only one that decided, I think I'm going to try this art thing as a career.
And so do they look at you and ask you when you're going to get a real job?
They don't, but my mom does. And
okay.
I've had a couple conversations with her to try to help her understand what an artist is, because she doesn't even really get what that is, and she's come to a place now where she accepts it. She doesn't understand it, but she accepts it, and she tells me, as long as you can pay your bills and as long as you're happy, I guess I'll be okay with it.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the most that we can ask for someone who doesn't understand.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, wow. Okay, so let me jump into the 3 questions. First question.
Okay.
What conversation do you wish you'd had but did not?
That was a hard question. I really had to think about it for a while. For me, my dad passed away when I was 20, and for 5 years after that, I lived a life full of regret. I regretted a lot of things that I wasn't able to say or do. But after those 5 years, I told myself, I'm never going to live this way anymore. I'm going to use my voice to speak my mind and say what I want to say and just say what I feel. So I no longer live in regret. So it was hard for me to think of a conversation that I've had currently where I think, I wish I would have said that. So I couldn't think of anything recent except the other day something did happen, and I thought about it, that I feel like I should have said something. It is, I want to say it's a little bit of a trigger warning. I'm going to share it anyway because it happened.
Okay, thank you for that.
I live across the street from a park, and there's a bridge over that park. So my view is that park and the bridge, and that bridge leads to a different part of the community here. It's called Coronado. And there are a lot of people that go on that bridge to die from suicide, and it happens very, very often. I know. It's pretty crazy. And so my patio faces this bridge, and I see every once in a while someone walking on that bridge, and I call the police right away. But it happens a lot. And the other day it happened at night, and it happened that I was able to see that person literally from my patio. I could have had a conversation with her, and I didn't say anything. I just watched for a little bit. Thankfully, she didn't jump. Nothing happened. But the day after, I did regret not saying anything to her. Like, I wish I would have just yelled at her and said, I don't know you, but I care about you. Don't hurt yourself. Something. I wish I would have said something.
Sure. Wow.
Yeah.
That is such a weight that you're taking on yourself there. It's to sort of be a guardian like that.
Yeah, it's pretty heavy.
Yeah, You're not kidding. All right. So I'm going to step back from that for a moment and ask question number 2. What do you love about what you do?
I love being able to work from home and being able to travel. Oh, that's just like, I never thought this could be possible. Like, I don't have to deal with the typical work environment, which a lot of times can be stressful. And, I experienced that for a lot of my life. I was working a regular 9 to 5 job, and I remember always coming home feeling so tired and stressed out emotionally and physically, both of them, and not being able to feel that anymore is such a blessing. And I just feel such a weight lifted. So that just being able to work from home and I can travel and still work, it has been amazing. And I love that about being a full-time artist.
Oh, I love that for you. And I absolutely appreciate that. I mean, we put enough, as business owners, we put enough pressure on ourselves to succeed and to build and to create and do all of those things. But not having to live with someone else's or some other organization's rules and guidelines, it's a big deal. That's a big deal. So let me circle back for a quick second. I know that you grew up really super sheltered. Does that have something to do with the fact that you don't drink or smoke, or those conscientious adult choices? Mm-hmm. Can you share with that about that?
I don't know. Maybe it plays a part in it. I'm sure it must. I don't know. Just as soon as my friends started to drink, which was a super early age, maybe 14, 15, I would still go out and party when I was able to do it as I got older. But I'm a listener, and I like to just kind of look at people and watch them. And right away, I saw what alcohol was doing to my friends, which was, of course, they were having a lot of fun. I was having fun too, but then it exceeded beyond that to the next day where it wasn't fun anymore. They had a headache. They weren't able to do the things they wanted to do, or they were throwing up, or there was a lot of regret, right? And I was just like, I don't want to feel that way ever. Like I want to be in control of myself. I don't want a substance to control me. So very early on, I just decided I'm not going to drink in my life, and I don't want to smoke either.
It's two sides of that coin. Like what you see and what you want to mirror are your own choices. Yeah, exactly. That's really interesting. Okay, thank you for sharing that with me.
Yeah.
Third and final question. What communication advice do you live by?
I've always lived by being a good listener. I don't care who I'm having the conversation with, whether it interests me or not. I always want to give that person my time and my respect. So I really try to listen to what they're saying. I'm also big on I just looking into their eyes, to being present.
Yes.
I feel like, when someone shares something with you, when they're having a conversation, they're really doing that. They're really sharing what they're feeling, what they're going through in that moment. So I just want to respect them by giving them that connection, being present. And especially right now with, the phone and having the internet on your hand, I don't want to be on my phone while somebody's trying to have a conversation with me. I just want to be present, and I want to be able to listen and just put my all into it.
Gosh, I love that. I love that so hard. And I appreciate that. I certainly appreciate when I'm, having a conversation with someone when they put their phone down, or they put it away. Like, that's a conversation in and of itself, you know? And so I absolutely love what you just said. So thank you so much, Soni. Thank you so much for your time and your art and your creativity. It's well appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you. This was fun, and it was easy, and it was so fast.
And now your puppy's waking up, so it's time to go.
It was really great to meet you, and I feel so honored for the time.
Thank you. Take care.